All right, folks, what is going on? Back with another video, and today this one has been long overdue. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I haven't really got into it because of other things I've been doing, putting other content up on the channel, working, etc., all the other things in between. But today I want to talk about the KCO HDMI cable for the N64. There it is right there. Okay, KCO for N64. Now, I want to let you guys also know this thing also works for the Super Nintendo, and you can actually use this for the GameCube if you want to. So, yeah, you can actually use it for any one of those. I'm not going to really talk about those other consoles. Mostly I want to talk about the N64 because, quite frankly, if you're using this for Super Nintendo, for the price this thing goes for, I don't think you're getting a really good quality out of it. That's just my opinion, but I'll tell you why in a little while. Also, the GameCube. I'm going to touch the GameCube somewhere down the line because if you're using this for the GameCube and for the price that this goes for, you're doing it wrong. But for the N64, they don't really have many HDMI solutions. Now, they do have the Hyperkin, which is this right here, and they have some other ones as well, but get a really good HDMI solution. The Hyperkin or the KCO is pretty much your best bet outside of actually modding your console, and that, I mean, you're almost looking at a $300-400 deal in some cases. While if you want to do that, great, but I don't look into that. But for a plug and play solution, this is pretty much what you have. Now, I did say there are other companies that are doing the things like Hyperkin, so there's not many. It's not like they're pretty much using the same technology, so you're not using anything different. But the Casio is actually a little different than the others because they have a little switch on here that you can press, and there's like a smoothing function for the HDMI or the video quality of the HDMI. So we're going to look into that. I'm going to compare these two. I'm going to let you give you my thoughts and opinions, and I'm also going to tell you what you really should use out of any of these cables. So I don't have anything to unbox because I had this for a while. I've been using this, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts and opinions on the video quality. We're going to be using GoldenEye as a reference, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions, and we're going to compare. Hopefully you guys will enjoy. Oh, another thing I did forget to mention, I'm moving too fast, I apologize. One thing I did forget to mention with this, you're going to need to use a power supply. So you have to plug it up just like the Hyperkin. So both of them have the same thing. Like right here, you see where you have to plug it in right there. Just like the Casio, you have to plug it in right here as well. So you just get your standard little, USB, mini USB and plug that in, and you get to use your own HDMI to plug this in, and that's how it basically works. So if you want to use it, it's the same way like the one I use for the Dreamcast, whatever, except for it has to be powered for some reason. I guess because of the smoothing functions or whatever. And this Hyperkin one that I'm going to be comparing, you can't use your own HDMI cord, but I know there's other ones out there where you can. So basically what it is I'm going to be using that version compared to this one. So we're going to get into it. Sorry for the quick delay. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, people, what we're going to do now, we're going to compare the two. And right now I got the KCO or the Kaico. I always get this mixed up, so I don't know what I'm talking about as far as actually pronouncing. But nevertheless, we're going to fire up GoldenEye, and we're going to see what it looks like. Now, right now, I'm using the 480p. There it is, it's up now. I'm using the 480p line doubler. It's also a line doubler, to be honest. And it's the smoothing function. And I'm going to change the function so you can kind of see what it looks like. As of right now, it doesn't look that bad, to be honest. I'm looking at it on my screen. I don't know what it looks like on, how you will see it once YouTube gets through with it. But it actually don't look that bad. It does have this blurriness. I mean, all N64 games have that blurriness on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the look, because you can change the smoothness function, and what it does is it's outputting an S-video signal to HDMI basically, and you can change that to composite. I don't recommend it, but you can do that. Now with the Hyperkin basically can just do I think it's a composite up to 720p. I'm not sure if it does S video, but it's gonna be really interesting to see how it looks compared to this, because on the screen it actually don't look that bad. You know, so if you're using this for your flat screen, I mean, you can see it right now. It does have a little blurriness, but it does look pretty good. I'm not really sure, like, if this is your cup of tea. I don't have a problem with it. Personally, I would rather use, I'll tell you what I'd rather use at the end. Well, I can tell you now. I would rather use it on a CRT, but, you know, with S-Video, which I have these right here, the S-Video cables for CRT looks phenomenal. But this is not for that. We're talking about what it looks like on here, and what you see here, it looks pretty good. Now I'm going to switch it. Let's see. Now what it looks like now, you may not see the difference, but this is, I think this is NTSC composite without the smoothness. So you may see it doesn't look as blurry, a little bit of jagged, and it still don't look bad. It don't look bad at all. Like I said, I really can't tell the difference, to be honest, unless if you're really looking at it, like really looking at it. Like you can see I'm changing it, and it doesn't look bad. Like it does have its differences where you can change the situation where it is like 480i or 480p, and I don't see a difference. Like, as of right now, I would rather just keep it on the 480p smoothing function, because it just looks better. So that's just me. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the Hyperkin, because now you're going to see you see this again, and it don't look bad. Now I'm going to switch. Let's see. I don't know if you see the difference, but basically you don't really see a difference when you switch the two. You really have to be hard pressed to switch when you can, you know, switch the line doubler or whatever the case may be. But I think it looks great. But we're going to switch over to the Hyperkin, and then we'll see how things go from there. Now, I have the Hyperkin cable hooked up now to the N64. And as you can see, when it's up and running, you got it plugged into your power supply. You actually can see that it says no signal on the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to crank this up and see how this looks compared to the KCO cable. So I'm really interested to see how this plays out. Okay, so now we got it up and running, and it already looks like it's pretty, like the colors a little bit better, to be honest. It looks like it's a little more brighter. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to put a comparison between the two and actually let you guys know. I'm gonna have both of them running side by side, but this actually looks good in my opinion. I think it looks better than the other cable. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but you do see the blurriness, because the other one, the other cable has the option to take the smoothness off. But even then, I mean, the N64 always had its, you know, blurriness, but this actually looks pretty decent. This looks really good in my opinion. I might have to do a side-by-side comparison. Now, mind you, the KCO cable is $79, and it does do the Super Nintendo and the GameCube as well. Now, this cable does the Super Nintendo and the GameCube as well, but I will say this: I wouldn't use them for those systems, because I would touch the GameCube at a later date, and anything before the N64 era, it just doesn't look good unless if you're using an OSSC or SCART cables or whatever the case may be. So I didn't want to use that. I think N64 is the one that you really want to use these type of cables on. But from what I see, this looks really good. So as far as the actual cable itself, I think this is a really good deal. I'm actually surprised that Hyperkin one looks this good. So I'm going to do a comparison video between the two side by side, and we can really get a total glimpse of what we have here, because I'm actually liking what I see overall. I really do. So I'll have that up and running, and we'll do a final comparison, and we'll just go from there. So just hang tight, and we'll have that up shortly. All right, folks, I want to give you guys an apology, because I'm looking at these side by side, finally getting to see this, and look, I talk very highly of the Hyperkin cable, but if you see this on the screen right now, the KCO cable wins easily. I mean, you just look at the black levels, look at the darkness. I said that the Hyperkin looked more brighter in the beginning. Now I see why. And look at the artifacts that were just glitching out. But nevertheless, you look at this and you're like, man, the colors just look so much better on the KCO cable. It's just a better, I mean, look at the golden eye. I mean, look at the entire picture right here. Black levels are right now. You do see the characters are a little bit bigger on the Hyperkin, because like I said, the Hyperkin is pushing at 720p. And I think the Kaico cable is running at 480p. But there's no denying that the colors just look better. It just does now. The thing about it is, does this warrant a $70 purchase? I think it's like $70 or $79.99. Does it warrant that kind of purchase? That's the question. I mean, that's $80 compared to this one is $40. The Hyperkin is 50% cheaper, but you get what you pay for. I'm looking at this right now, and I think it just looks phenomenal. I'm gonna run this loop one more time, and you clearly could see what is going on here. It looks beautiful. I mean, I can't say it enough. It really looks much better, even though the N64 is much more blurry, and it does have its issues because it's the N64. But looking at these two side by side, there's no comparison. Now, at the end of the day, the ultimate, in my opinion, the ultimate cable to use is the S-Video cable on a CRT. That is the ultimate look, because the games look phenomenal on it. But when you're looking at this and you want to play it on a flat screen, if you're willing to pay $20, if you're willing to pay $40 more, you literally right here, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for between the two. And I'm looking at this like, nah, it's not even close. I think that Hyperkin is a little bit more convenient, is a little better when it comes to like price point. But when you're looking at KCO and what it has to offer, I mean, it is almost like 9 days. Like I said, I want to apologize to you guys, because I really thought that this was going to look better. You know, I thought the Hyperkin did look better, but no. I'm going to continue to stick with the KCO cable on my 4K TV. If I want to play any games on the CRT, I use the S-Video. But you just can't go wrong with this. I think this just looks better. It really does. So let me know what you guys think. The links to everything will be down in the description. I thank you guys for watching. If you want to purchase, like I said, links are all down in the description for both of the items. And you guys take it easy. You guys be blessed. Peace.